A lot of really good Shao Kahn guides, but I'm about to basically show you guys what I like to do with Shao Kahn. Something that I think of him is really underrated is that he has like frame traps basically that like leave you like +6. So the first move is Conquer All. And what's really cool about this move is that if your opponent blocks it, which you kind of want him to block, which is weird, if he blocks it, you are +6. Alright, and what I see a lot of people doing, like after this move when they block it, they think it's their turn, and then they'll poke you or whatever, but your poke will always come out first. Like you do this move, your poke will come out first, and you can go in for the grab. Or if your opponent even knows that, you know, you go boom, boom, and you can basically get a grab because you're within distance, like, you know, which is really cool. So there's not even that. You don't have to go for the grab because your opponent can neutral duck it, and then your grab could miss, and then they could punish you. You could just simply do this and then use your 10 frame mid to your advantage and do that. Or what I actually do a lot, do this, throw that move. Your 10 mid frame. Don't complete the string. So just do this, boom, and then go for the grab. I feel like that is like super underrated. Like I don't see a lot of people really doing that. So basically just, they're waiting for that other hit or whatever. They're waiting for that second hit and it never comes out. Instead they're getting grabbed, right? So, alright, so you can't just think about that. Just doing this move and going for the grab. You kind of gotta get the bigger picture. Okay, so once you do this move, right? And first of all, let's talk about how you set it up. The way you set up this move, I never throw this move just like that. First of all, it's a high. People will down one you into a grab you to death. They will like uppercut, crushing blow your ass. What I like to do is this move first. And this move is great. Like the hitbox on it is really good. So you do this, boom, 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 and then whatever, right? So that's what I like to do. Or even just jump, boom, boom. And it's super easy to do. Just boom, boom, boom. You're just pressing circle, circle. Okay, so the bigger picture. What is the bigger picture? You land this. You get the grab, right? And then you do your buff. When there's a distance between you and your opponent after the grab, you do your damn buff. So then what do? There's things that what do you do after that? Okay, so after you get your enhancement, right, your little buff or whatever, right, I like to do the big boot, which is the Kevin Nash big boot, which is basically the same thing, except it's a mid, and of course it's a big boot and it takes longer, but it's like, you know, if you're pacing back and forth and then boom, get your opponent, and it's kind of the same thing. You're +6 and you're both within range of a grab, and same thing, whatever. So once you get your enhancement, right, you could either jump in, do it again, whatever, and then go for the grab, or what I like to do is boom, the big boot. You're basically frame trapping your opponent again into getting that grab. Now that grab is really important. Why is that grab really important? So let's say boom, I land it and I get the grab. That is 20%. You could even do it again. Boom, grab them. Boom, boom, boom. You know, 18 because it was like taken off whatever. But there's a possibility if you play your cards right, you could get 40% within 2 grabs. That is insane. First of all, like, if 20% for a grab is ridiculous. And this is actually realistic to do. It's very possible. There's multiple ways to setting up that grab, you know? But the usual way I like to do it is after I grab my opponent, then I'll go in for the buff. And then I will frame trap them and then go for another grab, you know? That's what I like to do. And the reason why I think that's such an underrated thing of Shao Kahn is because, like, his frame traps are just really good. Like, just ridiculously good. Boom, boom. And then his big boot. You have, like, a lot of options. A lot of options. Whether it is the big boot. So, like, when your opponent's waking up, like, you could shimmy back and forth, big boot, and then get a grab. Or, like, not even just grab your opponent. You could even, like, just set up this move for the torture rack and, you know, get 20%. or just pressuring your opponent, because that's what you're gonna want to do with Shao Kahn. You want to be in your opponent's face 24/7, not let that little fucker breathe, because you cannot afford to do zoning with Shao Kahn. You cannot afford, because his zoning is fucking terrible. His zoning, this is the only thing you want to do with that spear. First of all, if you land 3 of these, you can get a crushing blow. Okay, that's cool, but there's never been a match online that I played that I got that crushing blow, you know, because I'm always gonna want to be in my opponent's face. So basically, when you do this, you can basically dash forward twice, or you can wave dash. I'm not really into the whole wave dashing thing. Not that I don't like it, just I don't know it, you know. I need to practice that. But after you do it, it's your time to basically go in, dash twice and block. That's what I usually like to do, especially if you're playing like a Scorpion player. They could just teleport, so you can kind of like boom boom and then dash or whatever, right? So there's that. So boom, if you can frame trap your opponent and grab him and just be in his face, even like whatever, make him take a risk in neutral ducking and then just punishing him, that's like what Shao Kahn is really all about. It's about pressuring your opponent, being in his damn face, and then just grabbing him, because it's just awesome. The sound effects are just awesome, you know. So that's the bigger picture, you know. After the grab, whenever you grab your opponent, don't just try to go back in there. Use the buff. The buff is important. It's realistic. You could do it. And also, it depends on who you're playing against. There is characters that, you know, could punish you, but for the most part, you could get that buff out. And it is very possible, you know. Even like we get the buff out. Oh god. You can get a crushing blow and then do other crazy things with it, you know. So there's that. So that is Shao Kahn. You know, you gotta frame trap your opponent. It's like, it's so good. Like, these moves are so good to frame trap your opponent. And his grab is great too, you know. And there's possibility you can get like 40% from 2 grabs. Like, that's what you need to do with Shao Kahn. Just be in your opponent's face, grab him, you know. None of this crap or whatever, like doing shit like that. That shit is way too risky in my opinion. I see a lot of people doing this, like from a distance, not worth it. Or they like doing this move. That's cool, you know, like, you know, but you gotta be safe with it, man. So like, if you miss with this, like, you're gonna get punished, you know. Like, one thing that I would do with this move is just do something like that, or just boom, boom, and be safe, you know. Like, a lot of people like to do this move and then they do the dash, you know, whatever, for a combo. That's whatever, you know, but you gotta be safe with this. This is another tool about getting in, because it has such crazy range, you know. But I honestly, I never use that move. I'm just not really a big fan of it. I think it's shit. I'd much rather use this move right here and do things like this. There is a gap, you could get clipped, you know, or when you do the overhead, but you know, it kind of sets up a game, you know. Like, oh, is my opponent gonna do the goddamn overhead? It's like, oh, you can just do this and then grab them because they're waiting for the overhead, or you could do the overhead and then enhance it, and you know, maybe the first 2 will miss and the 3rd one will land. So yeah, so that's basically Shao Kahn. You just gotta be in your opponent's face. The other thing I like to do is that works out. If this, or first of all, if the poke lands, there ain't shit your opponent could do other than block. Like, I've tested it out, and if your opponent gets hit by it, the only thing they can do is block. They try to poke you while you're in the air, that's not gonna happen. I've tried it, and like, you know, that's just not possible, you know. So yeah, you gotta, you know, make Shao Kahn safe, get them grabs, and then when your opportunity is there, go for the big combos that he could do, you know. So yeah, don't do things that are risky. It's not really worth it, man. So I hope this helped. I really do. I feel like, you know, I feel like hopefully you guys learned from it, and I really, you know, make sure Shao Kahn better. You know, so hallelujah, holla back. Have a good one.